Alright everybody, this is a fast-paced flow right here, so let's get into a cross-legged position and let's just create an intention for this practice. Palms on our legs, palm up or palm down, whichever you want to do. Start to roll those shoulders up and back. Start sitting taller each time we do this. Breathing through our nose, out our mouth, whatever track of breathing we want to take today. Usually nasal breathing is going to be the easiest to help us kind of move with that Ujjayi breath, that inner vibration, just trying to get ourselves ready to move our bodies. We're moving quick today. Let's drop our hands to the floor, circling them up to pray. Just to enter the practice, seal off this intention that we're going to create for ourselves. And we'll flex at these knuckles right here. Palms to the floor, looking down, shoulders are forward. We'll send them on back, reaching up towards the sky. Twisting towards our right. Left hand on the side of our right knee. Right hand to our lower back. We're going to raise the hands up nice and wide. Okay signs in the hands if you feel that's necessary. Right hand's going to go behind our left knee. Left hand behind the low back, twisting towards our left. Looking over the left shoulder, trying to enhance the stretch, sitting tall. Arms up wide over our head, receiving. And forward for a child's pose with crossed legs. If you want to tilt side to side, look for some movement in here. Really think about breathing through the nose, get that vibration going on, and create a stillness inside, even though we're going to be moving super quick today. Come on forward to our tabletop. We're looking for a couple of cat and cows here. Every time that we're in tabletop, if you want to get a few cat and cows, by all means, this one's going to be your practice completely. We're going to move quick though. Dropping our navel, raising our head, raising our tailbone, raising our spine, dropping our head, dropping our tailbone. And left arm forward, right leg back. Keep our heel flexed. You can do a little spin there if you want to. We haven't really used any of these body parts yet. We're going to reach back and grab that foot. Left hand is grabbing that right foot. Trying to really arc our back, sending them on forward, crossing the leg, running the hand down between that whole left ear towards the floor. And back up. Threading that needle, everything back to the floor. We'll take a wide knee child's pose. Long reach with these arms, trying to engage, twisting side to side if we feel we need it. And back up the tabletop, back to the cat and cows. Raising our spine, dropping our head, dropping our tailbone, and then flexing the opposite direction. We're going to go neutral, left leg back, right arm forward. A little bit of rotation at the ankle if we feel it's necessary. When you're ready, we're going to reach behind our back, grab our ankle, and try to arc ourselves upward. We'll send them long one more time, crossing the left leg over the right arm through this whole right ear towards the floor. And we'll come back to table. We're going to come on up. Sitting in our tech stand now, we're going to get up, right back down, switch the legs, tech stand up, elbows on the inside of our thighs. We're tech standing right here. Continue to do this movement as many as you can. Try your best to keep your shoulders over your hips, rocking up and down, switching these legs, facing forward. Let's try not to watch ourselves do this. And we're done here. Right to our backs. We're going to grab our strap, grab our belt, whatever it is that we have, and we're going to get it to our feet. We're going to start flexing these legs a little bit, straighten them out above our heads. We're just going to pull, straighten our toes, find a little bit of tension in the legs. We haven't even forward folded yet. One leg at a time, left first, then the right if you like. And now we'll split the hands with our strap. We're going to sit in a little bit of a spider guard position, getting ready to drill a couple of lassos. Again, gripping that strap right high with the knees, and then we're going to lasso. So play with this one today. Try to stay all the way in the wedge position, do the full function and lean back. Try to lean back and then do it. See what works for you best. And look at what mechanics are going to be less involved in trying and more involved in doing. This movement becomes real practice when you find out that you get back to your role and you realize that these drills at home, they show you little things you can't even speak on that you find that make it easier for you. Everything about your yoga is within your practice. Everything that's within your jiu-jitsu is within your game. So it's important to realize what you're good at and what you're comfortable doing and what seems like work. Anything that seems like work you're going to want to avoid until you've drilled it enough times where it doesn't feel that way anymore and your body can just respond to you. We're going to continue to play with this, look for these lassos, pick up the pace if you can, and we'll leave the strap right in front of our mat. Let's just raise our hips a little bit, palms to the floor, fingers pointing towards the head side. You can sit into this a bit, find a bit of a stretch in those biceps, just moving our body. Back to a child's pose if we're going to need it, downward dog, anything that you want right here. This is a rest time, rest position. And let's find our high plank. And slow push up towards the floor, sliding it on forward for our first up dog, looking towards the ceiling, really trying to drop our hips, tall in the shoulders. We're going to pitch it down to the downward dog, flexing those knees. Maybe we want to walk it out a bit like a really high mountain climber, leave one in, give it a twist, pick a foot up and swirl it, whatever you want to do, whatever it feels like your body wants. And we'll roll it on forward to the high plank. Slow push up towards the floor for the up dog, looking up towards the ceiling. Downward dog. And let's float onto the front of the mat. We're going to land our feet, forward fold, looking forward for that half lift, forward fold. Slight bend in those knees is always fine. We're going to straighten them out on our half lifts. And then the forward fold, that slight bend is always welcome. Half lift, forward fold, plant our hands, and we're looking for crow. High plank. Three-legged dog with our right leg in the air. Step it on forward. Planting that foot between our hands, we're going to reach on up for our first warrior, warrior one. Send the arms on down. Kick that leg back, and we'll look for the side plank. Left hand, left leg down. Nice and widen those legs. Stepping forward with that right leg. Keep the toes in the ground. We're looking for a long lunge right here. Right leg forward. Bring the hands on down, raise the right arm looking towards our right. Wash the arm on down. We're going to kick this leg back, high plank, slow push up to the floor, up dog, downward dog, right leg's back up, a little swivel on that knee, left leg's up, swivel on that knee, step it on forward, looking for warrior one. Make sure we're facing forward, feeling a flex in our hips. It's going to feel tight at first. That's okay. That's why we're doing it. And we're ready. We're going to wash those hands on towards the floor. Kick the leg on back. Plank on our right side now. And we're going to look forward. Step forward with that left leg. Swing them on forward for a long lunge. Left leg forward. Bring the arms on down, leaving the right arm down. We're going to raise the left arm, looking up towards our hand, looking towards our side, but not letting our neck be lazy. We're going to bring the arm on down, reposition our hands even. Forearm plank, high plank. Forearm plank, high plank. Another forearm, another high plank. Slow push up towards the floor, up dog, downward dog. Float towards the front of your mat, half lift, forward fold. Slight bend in those knees. Be forgiving to yourself today. We're moving. Forward fold, sliding up our shins with those palms, getting extension in our spine, looking to plant our hands. We'll find crow. Jump on back, high plank. Slow push up towards the floor, up dog. We'll bring the right leg forward. We're looking for pigeon. Really forcing those hips towards the floor. Left leg straight back. Trying to get that right shin as horizontal as we can, but it's okay. If you want to drop to your forearms and bow your head down, you can. And we're going to come right on back up. Reaching back with that left arm, looking at our left leg, reaching our hand up, trying to find a mermaid. Okay sign in your hand if you'd like to. Coming back to the ground with our hands, kicking that right leg on back. Up dog. Three-legged dog for a second there, and then we're going to kick the left leg forward for a pigeon with our left leg on the floor. Our right leg kicking straight back. Take the bow, bring the forearms down if you'd like to. Now you can stay here or you can look for the mermaid on this side, reaching back with the right arm to the right leg, left arm coming up high up above our head. Okay sign in the hand. Now the hands are back to the floor. Let's walk ourselves back. Feet on the ground. It's going to look like a squat. We're going to swivel our hips here now. Side to side, dropping one hip, raising the other, dropping one knee, raising the other. And you can continue to do this movement, or you can sit squat now at this point and pray between the knees. The hands can be up under your chin, or they can come lower, creating more tension between those knees. So the squat, the swivel, or child pose or downward dog. So we're going to put our strap across our stomach. Now we're going to open up our hips a bit here. You can stay in this pose. Anything that we put out in the past you're welcome to do, but for now we're going to sit here and keep our right knee flared out hard, and eventually we're going to loop our belt, loop our strap around our foot and get that behind our neck and create some mild tension just to ask a little bit more space out of our hip today. It's not something you want to do if this is uncomfortable on your neck in any way, but if you do a lot of these poses, if you train any kind of jiu-jitsu, you're going to have a strong neck, and so this is going to be comfortable to do. My left arm looks like I'm pulling. I'm just keeping myself stable here. I'm not so much pulling, creating pressure on my joints. I'm just finding the availability in them. So we're going to leave our leg bound for one more second. And we'll send our right leg towards the floor to our left side, stepping onto the ground with our right foot bound on top of the left knee. And we'll come on up and we'll hug this leg if we'd like to. We can stay facing forward, leaving our legs bound. If you want to swing the left arm up over your right knee, looking towards your right, you can. And we're going to be looking for arm balances today. If you're unfamiliar, we're going to leave this knee behind our left elbow, match with the other hand, and we're just going to come on forward, letting our legs counterbalance ahead, open up the legs, kick them towards our left side, try to catch our elbow with that left thigh, open them up, extending one more time, and we want to land with our feet on our mat, high plank, up dog, and we'll be doing the same thing on the other side. So if you want to involve your strap, you can. You know it's coming. So if you want no part in the strap, just continue laying right in this position here, or you can sit up quicker. If you're ready with your strap, we're going to loop it around our foot in a moment and get ready to thread this behind our neck and look for tension in our hip. So now we'll loosen this tension, leaving our left leg up on top of the right. So we're going to walk it on over so that the left foot collapses and touches on the floor, still bound on the back side of our right knee. And we're going to sit up now. We can stay facing forward, hug our knee, or send the right elbow past the left knee, looking for an arm balance again. Let's pitch on forward, kick them on out. We'll catch on our right thigh this time, send them out long, and then kicking straight back the mat, high plank, slow push up to the floor, up dog. We'll find our downward dog. Jump on, float to the front of our mat, half lift, forward fold. We're going to look for warrior 3 on our right leg now. Sometimes I bow my arms on the back side of my position here, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what we're feeling. We can reach back, look for dancer, grabbing the left leg with our left hand, reaching forward with the right arm. We want to try to get as much lift as possible in these positions. Now we're going to put our left foot on the top of our right knee and squat down for a little bound prayer, chair pose. Sometimes I try to forward fold. Don't be afraid to explore. For me, warrior 3 today was very tight. This felt better. So you might find position to position. We're going to reset this with chair. You might find position to position. There's things you want to try on one side that you don't on the other. It's important to explore in your practice. Warrior 3 on our left leg. Don't be afraid to make yourself fall. Don't be afraid to try things you know you can't do. There's no shame in trying and failing. If you're not failing, you're not trying. And if you're not trying, then what is the point? Send it on forward, looking for the same bound chair pose. Trying to pray here. Even in your wrists, you can flex right here. Always look to get the most out of these positions. You're going to spend your time doing it anyway. Looking for dancer. And as you can see, my knee is very low. I give it a shot anyway because I would like to see at some point that knee be higher. So as much as we can arc our backs, keep it square to the floor. As much lift as possible is what we're going to look for. Let's clean it up with another chair. Forward fold, bend in those knees. And we'll look for one more crow. And we'll kick it on back, high plank, slow push up to the ground, up dog. Let's take a child's pose one more time, a couple of swivels, anything you want. Now we're going to be on our backs, feet on the floor. Triangle drills to the tech stand. As we come up, we're going to do the triangle, leave the legs, come up on our tech stand, and then as we go to throw the triangle up is when we'll make that switch. So if you notice, the legs switch now, triangle, left leg stays down, we're up, we come back. Now it's the right leg stays down. Keeping the elbows between your knees, tech stand to triangle. Back to our knees, palms down, child's pose, high plank, slow push up to the floor, up dog. We're going to drop onto the floor, put our forearms on the ground for like a bit of a sphinx pose here. We're going to try to keep our stomachs on the floor, just looking up, forearms, elbows in the ground. This is a very relaxed position here. We're not doing much. Back to a bit of a long extended halfway between child's pose and tabletop, back to tabletops. We're going to step up with the left leg now. Just to take a knee, we're going to put our right hand on our hip, twisting towards our right side. This is a good hip opener right here, nothing too crazy. Switch the legs, right leg forward, left knee on the ground, left hand on your left hip, reaching towards the right with our right hand, left towards our right hand, I'm sorry. Join the fingers behind our backs, palm down, big flex, palm up, big flex, reaching them out if we can. Now we're going to look for tripod right about here, top of our head to the floor, palms on the ground. We're going to explore a bit so you have time to get into this position. Anything you want to do from tripod is what we're looking towards. I chose to go wide legs, pointing my toes, and then I'm going to go the left knee to the right elbow, right knee to the left elbow, side to side. Any inversion you want to do right now, this is the time for that, to get upside down and exhaust any bit of effort that you have left on your body. You're almost done. You guys did an excellent job today. This practice made you move, made you do a little bit more jiu-jitsu within your yoga with no real rest in between. Let's come on down from whatever inversion that we chose. So we're going to meet on the blades of our feet, trying to reach forward. Any version of this pose that we've seen in the past is acceptable today. We're going to come right on back to chair pose. Plant our hands. Look for crow one last time. Kick it on back, high plank to up dog. Downward dog. And let's take a wild thing, kicking the right leg up and over, facing towards the ceiling. And bring it back to normal, kick it on through, blade of the foot down, coming back forward, finding flex in that right hip. Let's pull our leg out of there and raise three-legged dog with the left leg up, looking for wild thing. Come back, kick it on through. Now it's time for one more drill. We're not quite done yet. It's the Kimura drill. Is right here, left arm forward. We're going to come up towards our side, grab our wrist, leave our butt on the ground, side to side. Try to be stable. Try to use your feet to resist against the ground so that we can fire off as many of these as we can. Sometimes it's good to think you're done and then realize you're nowhere near done. Sometimes in the fight, you think you've got a good situation and now you don't. Hip escapes. Make sure to get good lift. Try not to move your yoga mat. If you're lifting your butt, you're rotating, and your mat's moving with you, you're not high up enough, and it won't escape you in an actual fight. So always make sure to do nice clean gestures in these hip escapes. Understand where and why your body's going, where it's going, and why it's doing that. We'll reach on forward, take a happy baby. Driving those knees towards the floor. Tons of intention today. You guys did an excellent job. You should be commending yourself. We'll grab our toes. We'll send it on back as hard as we can. Kick above your head. If you could put your toes in the ground, that's awesome. And of course, we're going to reach down towards the floor if you make it that far. This is the position to play and see where you can get to. Think about spider guard. If you were in that position, you'd be there anyway. Now Savasana right here. You can leave the knees up. Arms up this time, receiving from the world. Thank you guys so much. Please stay safe out there. We're going to find our seated position to close out our practice and let our attention fall away. For the rest of the day, we've completed what we need to. So we'll sit cross-legged. Raise them on up. Find prayer hands up at the top. Namaste.